Hello, gamers and college esports fans, and welcome to the Pacific Alliance of Collegiate Gamers Rocket League broadcast, coming to you live from the historic Einar Nelson Fieldhouse at the University of Utah campus. I am Archie Sleek Smith, and I am joined here today by my lovely co-caster Stents here. We're going to be bringing you the hottest collegiate Rocket League action that you're going to see this week. And now, Stents, since this is our first week here at the PACG, could you maybe break people down on our tournament format here?
Yes, I can. So the PACG spring season is actually 4 different tournaments. One for League of Legends, one for Overwatch, one for Hearthstone, and one for Rocket League. So for the next 8 weeks, the best players from 11 schools are going to go head-to-head every weekday night in the group stages. Players of Rocket League will be playing every Friday night starting at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Unlike our other tournaments, Rocket League only has one division of 6 teams, and each school will have the chance to face every other school in a best-of-5 format. At the end of the group stage, the top 3 teams from each region will go into the playoffs, a single elimination bracket, with the top team advancing directly to the semifinals. Finally, it all ends on finals week, when the final games for all of our games will be played.
All right, then let's go ahead and advance to our schedule for tonight. See who's going to be playing. Utah and Colorado will be our opening match, quickly followed by Arizona and Stanford. What can we look forward to in these matchups here, Sense?
Well, I'm particularly interested in the Utah-Colorado matchup because these two teams are very evenly matched. We have champion 2 players on Utah and champion 1 players on Colorado for the most part. So Colorado technically is ranked slightly higher when we look at the rankings, but I feel like there's something special with this Utah team. The way they play together is just incredible. It's like they've been playing together their entire lives. And for the Arizona-Stanford matchup, I'm a little bit concerned about this one. I feel like it could get out of hand very quickly because Arizona's planting cargo is very good at this game. Like, I was talking to him before the broadcast started, and he seemed very confident in his team. In fact, they're playing with 2 of their substitute players who are actually competing for the 3rd final spot in their team. So the fact that they're playing a game with 2 subs and 1 starter leads me to believe that they're fairly confident in beating Stanford.
That does sound like an overwhelming amount of confidence there for them. So let's go ahead and move towards, let's get our player rosters on screen for the Utah versus Colorado match. Left-hand side of your screen for Utah, we've got Ninja Spoon, Wicked Potatoes, and Briz. Substitutes available as Dark Fox and Quick Scoper. Opposite side, playing for Colorado, it's J13, Just a Boink, and High D. What can you tell us about these players, Stents?
I can tell you right now that for Utah, I want to look at Wicked Potatoes. Not only does he have the greatest gamer tag I've ever seen, but the man can play some good Rocket League. So I feel like for Utah, he's the man to focus on. I feel like he's going to be their leader in game today. And for Colorado, I'm looking at Heidi. There's a late fill-in, as far as I'm aware, because he's a substitute because one of their players couldn't play there. I want to see if he can bring the same kind of hype gameplay that we've been used to seeing over the past couple years into the game.
All right, and just for any Colorado fans at home, who would we normally see in kind of Heidi's place that Colorado was on their main roster?
Honestly, they've been switching around all the time, so I couldn't really tell you. They've got 2 other substitutes who are very good players, so that competition for that final spot is really what we're going to see in the early weeks here.
All right, so we could probably expect some change-ups there on the Colorado roster going forward. If I'm correct, I do believe we're just about ready to go into game here. And we will do just that. Ball already in play. Just a Boink pushes it in the direction of Utah, sending it to his teammate. Looking set, Owen wants to clear this out of here. Briz helping him do just that.
This seems like a major misplay to me because they're centering it over their own goal. This seems Colorado really should have taken better advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely. Wicked Potatoes with a very impressive save there right out the bat. I am a little concerned by Utah's inability to clear the ball out, but Owen looking to cover for Briz, tries to make that happen, gets it up in the air, deflects it, very good play right there, but Justin Boink puts the pressure right back on. Joa's looking for it, it's an early goal! CUJ13 with the first blood in this matchup.
This is very important for Colorado to get off to a fast start. They don't want to give Utah any level of confidence. The fact they scored within a minute of the game starting, that's a good sign for Colorado.
That's going to give them some wind in their sails. Briz kind of getting the better end of this opening kind of break there. Now Owen in the air, puts it on, no, not quite on frame, but dangerously close. Looking for the follow-up shot.
That was a major save there by Heidi, but they didn't clear it out, so this could be dangerous. There you go. You get the aerial from Briz with the assist from Owen. That was a major play right there.
I was like, beautiful persistence from Utah. Really show they got good opportunity mindedness. This one, it's going to be a brutal back and forth. We're going to see some high score lines.
That's big because now Utah is not going to doubt themselves at all because they just scored within 15 seconds. That means they could score a lot of goals over the course of this game.
Right, that is a huge confidence booster. Now, Wicked Potatoes clears it out the way of Colorado. Briz looking to carry it on out. Heidi with a good defense. Going to be Wicked Potatoes and J13 fighting for control of the ball. Potatoes in a good spot. Owen with the clear.
And you see right here, they're just kind of trying to get the ball out of their zone. But you see J13 there on the defense. That's a major stop right there because you don't want to let anything easy to go in.
Now, Owen going to deny just that very same thing. Back the other way. This has been some intense back and forth here.
I feel like they're both trying to play super aggressively, and I don't know how that's going to work out because I feel like the talent on Colorado for that aggressive play style is better than Utah. But Utah's been better at rotating back on defense quickly to stop the pushes.
It works. It's not broken. Owen looking for the aerial. Doesn't get quite where he wants it to be, but does throw it back. Denies 13's push on out of there.
See, as you can tell right there, it was very important that since we're playing 3v3s as a standard format, that someone always rotates back on defense. You can't do a three-man push because then you leave the goal wide open for just a counter score, and that would be terrible, especially in a tight game like this.
And those defensive players, so very important, come in very clutch this game. So many shots on goal in just a very limited amount of time. So those players on defense doing their job well. Tato looking to set up his teammate Briz. It's on target. It's going to be our third goal of the match. Puts Utah ahead here at 2 minutes 30.
So halfway through the game, we have Utah up 2-1. Honestly, I feel like Utah's just outplaying Colorado right now. Not only is their offensive pushes stronger and more coordinated, but I feel like they're also rotating back on defense to cover up any holes in their setups.
That play was a beautiful mix of player coordination and mechanical skill. Owen looking for another one. Very dangerous.
Oh, that was just way too easy for Utah. Colorado, off the 50-50, you need to play that better. Those are set plays you should have ready to go, and you just didn't execute.
That's credit to Owen there. That last second twist did not make that last adjustment to get it on target. Beautiful mechanics coming out from that team.
So as you can see, you see Colorado winning the 50-50 there, but Utah's right back to put it into the Colorado zone. Right now, the Wicked Potatoes with a nice aerial to try to keep it away from the goal.
Briz and Owen both kind of go in for the same defense, but now still they get it out. Dangerous spot for Colorado, looking for the clear. Instead, it goes to Utah's player. J13 needs to get it out of here quickly, but he's just passing it to the enemy team.
Oh, and that was key, the deflection there to keep it in the zone.
Utah does not want to be forced back on the defensive. That first opening section of the game, they were playing defense that entire time. They want to keep this in Colorado's court as much as possible. That's where they've been thriving.
That was a major stop there by Justin Blank. He was the last line of defense on that push, and if he missed, then we would be seeing Utah up 4-1.
So, and now he's kind of like turned the ball into the other court here, and to put Utah on the defensive momentarily. Potatoes looking to change it. Briz in the air, taps it down. It is on target, and it's going to go in! Utah is unstoppable right now.
Yeah, I mean, Briz is just simply outplaying everyone. He's by far, in this game, the best player on the field. And there's nothing else you can say, especially seeing as he has the majority of Utah's goals.
Undeniable talent right there. And here's the break going the way of Colorado, but Briz able to get the rebound for his team. Goes back the other way. Wicked Potatoes off the wall, passes it down to Briz. Not where he needs to be, but holy moly, I didn't even see him!
This man can't be stopped. These aerials coming out from Utah, you get the assist there from Wicked Potatoes, and Briz just hammers it home. Even with the tap from the second line of defense. This is just simply Utah's outplaying Colorado.
Briz has been doing fantastic work, making huge plays out of what seemed like kind of relatively small impacts on the ball, just really maximizing his angles, his momentum, and it's turning out beautifully. Now, 1 minute, ball in Colorado's court to defend. Heidi looking for the clear on out of here.
That whiff there from Wicked Potatoes, that's going to haunt him. They want to put Colorado in the grave. They don't want to let any hope into their minds.
Right now, if Colorado can get another goal here before time lets out, that'll put some more confidence in them, help them out in this multi-game set here. If Utah can hold this, looking for the defense, shot is close, but not quite. Briz can't get the clear, facing the wrong way. Ball's in a dangerous spot. J13 gets the connect, but it's not on target still.
As you see, Heidi's just trying to get that one extra goal to get that little bit of confidence going into game 2. But right now, there is no way for Colorado to get back into this game with only 13 seconds left, and Utah still aggressively pushing for that 6th goal.
Just never letting up the pressure is this Utah squad. Owen, they could be looking for another one. Not quite going to happen there. Good defensive stop from Colorado. Ball still in the air, going to keep it alive, and that's going to be our game 1. Absolutely insane stuff from Briz, the obvious MVP in that matchup.
Yeah, he was just playing out of his mind. And as we go into game 2, I'm going to look to see if he can keep that up, because if he can't keep that up, I'm a little bit concerned for Utah, because he kind of put them all in the backpack in that one. So if we see a slow game from Briz off the rip, then I'd really like to see either Owen or Wicked Potatoes step it up to keep Utah going to get that 2nd victory.
It's always good to have your star players, but you don't want to be completely reliant on those guys. Team game, you got to have everyone able to bring it, and we did see a good bit of that. A lot of Briz's goals were off beautiful setup from Owen and Wicked Potatoes, so I'm not seeing concerns there in Utah's department. But what does Colorado need to change to kind of come back into this one?
I feel like they really need to work on rotating back on defense, because they're 3-hitting their offensive pushes, which, you know, it's a risky thing to do because you have no one back on defense at that point. Their last defender is playing so far up, so if the other 2 center it, that he can, you know, hammer it home. But in this scenario, he's playing too far forward, and so whenever Utah clears it, he's rushing back on defense, and he runs out of boost before he has to rotate back to get more boost, and he just doesn't have the time to get there to make a stop.
Yeah, so I'm always thinking about the next play, being ready for what's going to happen next. We'll see if Colorado's able to get that turnaround here. I guess that is kind of up to them. Now, are we getting ready? No, not quite. Jumped the gun. My apologies.
Yeah, but what I'd really like to see out of Colorado is I want to see Heidi step up. I feel like he can be the difference maker for this Colorado team. He's the one that can kind of settle them down and get them to really, you know, regain after that tough game 1 loss.
Absolutely. All right, we are gonna have a slight delay here, so let's keep it talking here. I've been very impressed. Ooh, now, oh!
All right.
I'm speechless.
We come into this one apparently a minute late, but I mean it's tied up right now. As you see, J13 with the tying goal there. It's Utah 1, Colorado 1.
Kind of makes you wonder what happened. This has been a very busy first minute. Utah and Colorado both scoring here. That's nuts. That's nuts is what it is.
I have nothing to say other than I'm glad to see Colorado's putting up a fight.
Oh, yeah, this team still got life in them. Owen looking to set up Briz. Ball, dangerous position. Kind of floating through the air. It's up to Wicked Potatoes.
Oh, just off the top crossbar. That one's got to hurt. Someone's got to rotate back on defense for Utah. I don't see anyone sitting back there. All going for the goal. You see Wicked Potatoes. That missed there. There's a free open shot on goal, and just Colorado does not take advantage.
And they cannot find the hit they need to there. Now Briz wants to stop this, is able to do so. Sends it out Potatoes' way. But Owen, CJ13 with the clear there. That's up to Briz. Needs to stop just a bonk. Puts one, not quite on frame.
And Wicked Potatoes with the clear there. That's big. He was not hitting the ball very well over the past minute or so. That's good to get him back in the groove of things.
Yeah, seeing there's a little momentary rust on the boys of Utah. Weren't quite finding the connects they needed. Wicked Potato now putting the ball in front of Colorado. Not going to be allowed to happen. Just a boink. And Heidi will put it dangerously close to Utah's goal. And just a boink.
Oh, this should be a goal right here. Oh, no one's in position. That one's got to hurt. That seems like a poor communication right there from Utah. Someone should have been in the mid to at least put that shot on goal, because there was no one left to defend for Colorado.
No, it looked like it should have been freed, but just too much invested in getting the ball into the perfect position, but that doesn't leave anyone left to actually capitalize on it. Now, Owen looking to set up Wicked Potatoes here, popping it into position here. Briz can't quite find the connect on there, but the defenders, they're not there. Potatoes coming out of nowhere, taps in the second one for Utah.
As you can see, Briz was the one that centered that. He's keeping up his stellar gameplay from game one. That's what I like to see. That's good signs for Utah.
It's not the all-star hero ball, but it's still doing loads of work for his team. Now, the break goes off to the side. Wicked Potatoes gets the better end of it. And now, Briz on the aerial. Does not tap back down. J13 clears it out very well here.
Owen with the center. That was a major center hit there, but no one from Utah was there to kind of capitalize on that push.
Now Heidi's going to be one, tries to clear it out, throwing it back to just a boink, throws it to midfield. Owen puts it close to the middle, but 13 has him covered. This is a very solid defense out of Colorado here. Potatoes not to be outdone, denies a goal just to put one on target.
That was a big save from just a boink there. Utah had a very good push going right there, 2v1, and they couldn't finish it off just from stellar defense by just a boink there.
Briz tried to put that one on there, couldn't quite find it. Now it's up to just a boink and Heidi on the offense. Heidi puts one on there! I do believe that is his first goal of the game and his first shot. Wow.
So Colorado tying it up 2-2. They're still fighting. There's a minute 17 left. This game could get very interesting. Will we see a stopwatch overtime?
It's entirely possible. Still a lot of time on the clock, and if Heidi's got a bit more of that in him, Utah could be in a little bit of trouble. He's been quiet so far, but he clearly knows his stuff.
Oh, that whiff from Briz. You gotta hit that, son.
That one's gonna hurt. There is a demolition on the field. Heidi in control of the ball. Owen wants to take it away from him. Sets up his own pass. Wants to get this in position for Briz, but the clear is wonderful from Colorado.
Look at Potatoes caught out of position there going for the boost, but he was able to rotate back before Colorado could do anything with that push.
So very quick on the get back there. Heidi wants to push it forward, but it's going to be a lot of back and forth here in this middle area. 13 grabs himself some boost as Owen tries to get this away from the goal, but Colorado has some pretty good positioning on the ball. 13 making him scared. Heidi out of the air. Everything's very dangerous for Utah.
I'm a little bit concerned for Utah. They're playing a lot of defense, and I haven't seen a whole lot out of their defense in this game to be confident. It looked good in game one, but right now they're kind of playing off the back foot. I'd like to see them get more aggressive here in the last 15 seconds.
And Utah has kind of thrived off this idea that a good offense is the best defense. The ball's always on the enemy side of the court. You don't have to defend. Could be going into overtime here.
Let's see what happens as Briz puts it on center for goal.
So very close, and it doesn't.
And he scores!
In! It was bouncing around in there. You know, everyone's heart basically skipped a beat. You see the ball bouncing around in the goal like that. Briz keeps his head in the game, though, gets the last tap in, puts Utah up at the end of our second game.
With 0 seconds left, that was just next level right there. Now with Utah, that's a heartbreaker for Colorado. If I was on Colorado, I don't know how I'm regaining after a game one stomping and losing last second in game two. I don't know how I'd regain.
I don't know. I think you just got to have confidence in what you did there. Colorado put up a really good fight. It came down to the wire when they were tied up. So they have something to be proud of in that game. That wasn't an easy thing to do, to bounce back from the kind of loss they had in game one. They come in, they put up a fight. That kind of attitude's good to have. I like to see that in my team.
So that actually brings up a question I want to ask you. Would you rather lose, say, 5-0 like they did in game one, or would you rather lose in that last-second heartbreaking fashion? Which one do you think is going to be easier for them to, come back from?
Well, I don't want to speak too much for the players. I feel that's a very personal thing. In my experience, it's always been good to have the really close matches, the ones you can feel proud of even when it doesn't go your way. the real one-sided, the rolls, the stomps, that can get to you. And it, well, I don't think anyone needs to be told it does not feel good to lose that
And
severely.
you know what the major problem is here? They had both in the matter of, 20 minutes. So if I was Colorado, I'd be fully tilted right now. And yeah, I hope they're better than me. I hope that they come out in this game 3 and we see that fire under them. I don't want to see, well, I mean, I do want to see Utah win because I go to Utah. I want to see them win 3-0 every time.
There is no bias on this cast.
No,
None.
there isn't. And
Pay
so,
no attention to the Utah logos everywhere.
yeah, we would never be Homer broadcasters, but I really would rather see a competitive game.
Competitive games are what we're here to see. We love the back and forth. We love the close stuff. Colorado, they gave us to that in that second one. You say it's rough to kind of have both of those kinds of losses on them, but I say it's much better for them that they're coming off that much closer game.
Honestly, if I'm Colorado right now, I set my controller down. I sit back in my chair, just like this. I look at the I look at my monitor. In my headset, I talk to my teammates. I just want to know what's going on. I mean, you are ranked better than Utah, player to player, and you're just getting beat. So obviously there's a communication problem, there's a teamwork problem. I want to fix it. I want to see this go to 5 games, but I don't know if we're going to get there.
I still think it's entirely possible. Colorado, they've shown mechanical prowess. On paper, this should be the stronger team. The bounce back could be very real for them here. I would have faith in them. I don't want to make any too bold predictions. We haven't seen too much of these teams yet. I don't think a Game 4 or a Game 5 is too much past us here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this little break we're having right now, as we let the players kind of rest and, talk over strategy before going into Game 3, I feel like this is going to benefit Colorado much more than it's going to hurt Utah. So I feel like we're going to get a much closer game, even than we just saw. We might even see an overtime Game 3. That's my bold prediction, overtime Game 3.
Well, that would be very exciting. I mean, it's hard to top that last game. The last second goal, I love that. I absolutely love that. But we were talking about that pause. You mentioned that might be a little detrimental to Utah. When you're feeling hot, when you got the momentum, you just want to get in the next one. You want to keep it going, keep it rolling. And what's time for a mental reset to gain some clarity for Colorado? The hot hand of Utah is cooling a little bit.
I mean, we've all experienced it. When you start feeling good, whatever game you're playing, you're feeling good, you're putting up W's on the board, and then suddenly it's 4 a.m. and you wonder where the last 7 hours went. But, you're winning, so you don't care.
Victory is what it all comes down to, Sleep, all really secondary when you get down to it. And that's what Utah wants to bring out here. It'd be a very strong start for their season to get the 3-0. That'd be huge for them as they go forward. Real validating as team and as players.
Yeah, so it looks like we're about to get the game started here. As you can see, the ball is in Utah's zone.
Just looks to escort it out of there, but tossed back the other way by Colorado. Couldn't quite see who had it there. No, Potato sends it to J13. Ooh, Heidi. In a fairly dangerous position here for Colorado. It's Briz in control of the ball. Good answer back by 13. Heidi wants to position himself to answer whatever 13 does or what Potato ends up doing. It's all about positioning yourself for the next play.
See, Briz is going to push it into the zone here, but it looks like they don't have anyone back for Colorado on this push. But as they all rotate back, you see Utah keeping it towards the goal, but Heidi with the clear there, that was big. It looked like Utah was having some serious pressure on the goal.
Yeah, that is absolutely the big play here. Now Briz, looking to clear it out, is in control, wants to hand it to Owen or just himself. He could just be going for it.
This man's just trying to be a one-man army out there. Get him some help. Let's go.
Hero ball looks cool and all, but that's a lot of burden to put on one player. But now the rest of Utah is here to help, and Owen scores the first one for himself and his team.
As Utah goes up 1-0 here in Game 3, I'm a little bit interested. That looked like an own goal. Yeah, it was. Is Colorado throwing the match, or was that an honest mistake?
That has to be an honest mistake. These things happen. This high-intensity moment. This is going to happen to the best of them.
I'd love to hear the comms from Colorado right now. I want to know if they're toxic or if they're regaining fully for this game after that own goal. That's got to hurt.
I'll have faith in them, guys. Heidi seems like he's still playing his game. He's been all over the place in this one already. see him playing his most aggressive in this set. But now Briz, very aggressive, off the crossbar. One more
that's
tap.
a goal. You just can't do that, Colorado. You guys are not playing good Rocket League. You're sending 3 forward on an offensive push, and you have no one back on defense. That comes down to poor communication. And honestly, I think they're fully tilted right now.
I'm not one to call out other players. I'm sure they're better than me. But when you got more enemy players in your goalie box than your own players, especially 3-0, that's rough.
Yeah, I mean, I know these guys are better than me, but honestly, it looks like they're falling apart. Utah is starting to pour it on here. With 3 minutes left, this could get ugly.
Could be. And now Briz looking to make the hot plays instead. Heidi clears it out of there, shuts down that little bit of hero ball. 13 clears it out. Owen does not catch it out of there.
That's a misplay, but he's lucky that his teammate Briz was there to clear it out.
Now, Just a Boink sends it over to Utah's court. Heidi looking for the aerial, does not connect with the ball. Just a Boink might put it in himself. Now, if Owen on the offensive push tries to secure something here, but it's been all Colorado touching this ball this entire time.
Yeah, I feel like Utah's starting to take their foot off the gas a little bit here. And you see there's no one back on defense. That's a misplay. That's what we've been seeing from Colorado. And to see Utah have that sort of misplay where someone goes for boost and they don't communicate that they're leaving the goal open, that's just disappointing to see after we've seen such great gameplay from them.
So it's easy to kind of rest on your laurels a little bit when you're having this kind of set. Well, let's hope Utah gets kind of the mental clarity to keep it together for their fans here. Now Heidi with the aggressive push forward. Where are the defenders here? It's just Owen against the world.
See, I didn't see who it was, but that was a big play there on defense by one of Utah's players. He actually ran into the back of one of the Colorado players to get him out of position so he couldn't just hammer that home. That was a major stop there.
Now Potato throws it to midfield, comes close. Wicked Potato just needs one more tap.
You just got outplayed by Just a Boink, and there's no one back on defense. This looks like a goal for Colorado. They tie it up 2-2. Wow.
Now Just a Boink looking strong off that one. Gets the defensive play, turns around, get you a man who does it all, and Just a Boink is that man.
Yeah, I honestly, I didn't have high hopes for him coming into this game. I feel like he was the one who's going to tilt, but he's putting them in the backpack, getting ready to go to school right now. And I honestly, I love it. I love to see this.
All right, there's the demolition on the wall. Owen's going to be hurting after that one. Just a Boink does not get the aerial hit he wants, but Heidi and J13 going to bring the pressure for him.
Oh, and that was a big save right there. Everything's going to come down to this last minute 30 as it's tied up.
Now Wicked Potatoes in position, throws it back. Very good tap there. Wants to throw this off the wall, but no, Just a Boink going to get the better end. And Just a Boink now on the Royals forward. Owen is able to stop him, but the ball is kind of stalling around this midfield.
Owen making the big defensive plays there. Not only did he stall out that push, he stalled it out twice. But it doesn't seem to help as J13 pounds it in for Colorado to give them the late lead. I don't know what happened right there. I feel like Briz, that was a major misplay. He just turned off to the wrong side.
I am more willing to give that one to the positioning of J13. Trusted his team to get it right where he needed the ball and capitalize beautifully.
As you can see, off the 50-50, Colorado wins it. Heidi's putting it straight towards goal, but Wicked Potatoes there with the clear.
So, very high intensity there. Now Briz taps it down there, doesn't get it quite to goal, but he sets up Owen to try and make something happen. They want to tie up this game, if not take
Briz,
back the lead.
you missed it. That's a big misplay.
No, Just a Boink can't find the hit, so that's a little saving grace for Utah. Now, lots of players fighting over the ball here. Just a Boink going to throw it back the way of Utah to his teammates, but Owen's the one who receives it instead. Clears it out, sends it to Briz. Said only going to the defenders. Wicked Potatoes looking to turn it back around, throws it to his teammates. Briz in the air, does not quite connect, but Owen does! So painfully close! Briz looking for it, cannot find the tap. But it's still a ball in a dangerous position for Colorado. They have to be careful here.
Yeah, Utah's doing everything they can. They're throwing the ball at the goal any way they can think of as it goes to center. Briz centers it for Owen, but Heidi's there to clear it out.
A very fast defensive stop at less than 10 seconds. Briz looking for it, Heidi for the clear, but Owen's got it in a very, very close to the goal. 13.
See if they can juggle it here. I doubt it, but there's a second left. They can juggle this across the court, and that would be next level.
Potato looking for it, but no. Colorado hits it to the ground. denies that overtime there. Colorado take their first win of the set. This team's got a second win in them yet, Stents.
I didn't believe in them. I'm going to be honest. You heard it from me before the game. I thought they were going full tilt. I thought they were throwing their controllers. I mean, but I feel like now that they got this win under their belt, we could be seeing a Game 5.
We absolutely could, and that would be a wonderful opener to our Rocket League season here. Everyone wants a Game 5, like right out the bat. That's always going to be exciting. Colorado still need to get another win. They're kind of shooting for the reverse streak right now, reverse sweep. Every game is game point for them. One messed up, just a few too many mistakes in one game, they're done.
Yeah, I feel like at this point it really comes down to Colorado. I think Utah's been playing at a fairly consistent level. Colorado has been, it feels like they've honestly just been warming up the first couple of games. And now that they're warm, they're starting to do whatever they want. They come out with the win in that game. I feel like we could start to see them pull away. I don't know whether it was preparation so they had classes or something and they weren't ready to go. But like now that their hands are warm, they've been playing some good Rocket League. I think they're going to start to pull away here. I see them winning this next game, and I think we're going to see Game 5.
Well, a little bit of a bold prediction. Don't suppose you want to call the reverse sweep?
No, I don't. I feel like Utah, when given the chance, they're going to clutch up when they're needed. So, I mean, that's all I have to really say on that matter. Colorado's just been playing very streaky over this last, hour here.
And that's kind of a risky thing to have. If you got your beautiful streaks and you're really good when you're good, that's awesome. But you're only as good as your worst play. And we'll see if Colorado can keep it up here. Get ready for Game 4.
Yeah, as we see, we're coming into this a little bit late here with 4 minutes and 30 off the clock, and Colorado's already up 1-0. I'd love to see who got that goal and how quickly they scored.
Must have been fast. Speaking of fast, Heidi puts in another one. I was talking about second wins a minute ago, but these guys are now looking for their second win.
Can we go back to where I said that I wasn't going to call the reverse sweep? I'm calling it right here, right now. Colorado's going to come out. They're going to win this game, and then they're going to absolutely dominate Utah in Game 5. Don't quote me on that, even though I just told you to, but like that's what I feel. That's what I'm feeling.
But now Owen, feeling himself, gets a shot very close. Briz taps another one in. Everyone here from Utah up on the offense, but just a boink, just what they need to throw them back.
There's no one in the goal right now. If Colorado was able to get a good hit on that towards goal, it would have gone in. But yeah, Owen's that was a big save by Just a Boink. That was, woo, rustling my jimmies a little bit.
Just a Boink. This dude's insane. He is an absolute monster. On defense, on attack, he does it all, and I am loving watching this dude.
This series is just wonderful. Like I know at the beginning we told each other that this was going to be a good game, but this is more than I bargained for. I hope y'all are having fun watching this just like I am.
And now Heidi looking to clear it out. Briz is trying to maintain that aggression that he made so prominent in the first two games here. 13 looking for the clear, but Potato fatal tap in gets Utah on the board here in Game 4.
That was clutch because, I mean, Utah's had not a whole lot of positives coming through this game right here. And to finally get a goal on the board, I feel like they're going to start getting that little mojo back, that confidence that we're not just going to get beat 2-0, 3-0. We're going to show that we belong in the PACG.
Absolutely have to agree. We talk about tilt, but the second you get that feeling that you're about to get reverse swept, it kind of becomes like this self-fulfilling prophecy. Utah not going to let that happen to them.
I hope there's zero talk of reverse sweep in the comms because that's just going to put people on tilt. As you can see, Utah's playing some defense here, but Owen with the major save after what looked like a good push from Just a Boink.
I mean, I keep mentioning players as unstoppable. I feel it's a serious misnomer. We've seen some great defense, incredible stops from both teams. They want to call it Wicked Potatoes. That seems to be the star defender for Utah right now.
Yeah, you got Wicked Potatoes on defense, and you have Briz on offense that are really just carrying the load for Utah.
Now Briz passing back to Owen, who puts it towards gold, but Just a Boink not going to give up the gold that easy.
You could say that Just a Boink was there, just didn't time. You know what I'm saying?
Something like that. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. But now, J13 looking to get another goal for his team here. Destruction on the wall. Are we in a demolition derby now?
Yeah, that was a big play from Owen there to try to get that to demo that defender. But they were not able to make anything out of it as Colorado instantly gets it out of their zone.
Now it's to Heidi. Wants to clear it out. Just a point. Owen puts it on goal again. Owen's been he hasn't been getting a lot of goals, but he's been having a very strong performance.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing good team efforts out of both teams. Everyone's had their shining moments. I know we've been hyping up people like Briz, like Wicked Potatoes, like Just a Blank, like Heidi, but it feels like the teams are starting to play better and better together the longer they play here tonight.
Everyone's having their moments. Briz looking for his. Heidi gets the better end of it. Sets up his team. Owen in the air. Throws it toward Colorado's goal. Very dangerous. Just a Blank's play. Very important. But Potato gets demolition at such a crucial moment.
Yeah, that's gonna make that defensive stop much easier for Colorado as they center it here in the Utah zone. But Briz is able to clear it out. That's a big aerial play from him.
All of Briz's plays are big aerial plays.
Yeah, that man's literally like, he's not driving a car, he's driving a jet right now.
Got a biplane. Heidi. And
as we were just hyping up Utah, we just completely see Colorado put another one home to take the 2-goal lead over Utah with 1:04 left. Am I going to be proven right that we're going to see a Game 5?
To be fair, you initially called against
that. I don't
that.
know what you're talking about, man. Now, as we get into this 50-50 here, there's a little clash, but Just a Blink's there to push into the Utah zone. They got to play some defense on that. Way to go, Wicked Potatoes on that stop.
Now, Fidel on the attack. Going to get thrown right on back. Briz wants to get it out of the air. Doesn't get the angle on it he wants, but Owen does. Now
Heidi. No one back on defense. Okay, Wicked Potatoes, that was big.
Wicked Potatoes not no one. That's a little mean, man.
I know, but he was out of position, and he didn't have a whole lot of boost. I was concerned.
This dude's got the skills. I have faith. I have a lot of faith in these guys.
You know, I like to think of myself as a father figure to our players, so I get concerned whenever I see them doing something that I really don't approve of, like being out of position in a match where you're down by 2 with 20 seconds left. You know what I'm saying?
No, not particularly. I don't consider myself a father figure to people I've never met, but I'll leave you to that. Wicked Potato in the air. Goes it down to the left-hand corner. Briz looking to follow up. Owen got a free shot on goal. Brings Utah very, very close.
That's what I like to see from Utah. They're not giving up until the last second ticks off the clock. They have 9 seconds. What are the odds they get a goal in 9 seconds?
I believe we've actually seen faster goals than that.
I know I have, and I feel like Utah's got the team chem to get it done.
They juggle it around. Now they get an extra time like that. Now it is in the defender's court.
All right, it's over. I have zero faith. Oh
wow,
my God!
He puts it on. Oh my God! It's so
Ball's
close.
Still in the air. Wicked Potatoes is there to juggle it.
He's throwing it out. Just a Blank wants to get it towards the ground.
Can Briz get there to keep it alive?
Briz totally can. Now it's
Owen off the wall. Centers it.
Oh! So close. Wicked Potatoes. He was in the spot. But Colorado, they make the right defensive play. Get it to the ground. I love that mechanic. I love that play does not stop till the ball hits the ground. That is like my favorite thing.
That really allows for great moments like that where I start losing it a little bit when we see almost something I thought wasn't even possible happening. So as we go into Game 5 here between Utah and Colorado, do you have a favorite in this one? As we've seen, Colorado's going for the reverse sweep. Utah's trying to stop the sliding.
We've said reverse sweep one too many times. Dream's dead. It's over. Utah takes it. The end.
Is that really your only reason? Or are you doing a little bit of a homer feel here? I mean, we got the Utah banner back here coming to you from Einar Nielsen Fieldhouse on the University of Utah campus. I'm going to say Colorado's gonna win this match here.
Listen, I have watched enough movies about sports to know when the commentators, they call something too much, it goes wrong. It's over. It's done. They ruin it. Caster's curse. It's evil.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done here. We've cursed them.
But who are we cursing? Because we're calling one team and the other. So are they both? Are we just going to see some terrible gameplay here? Is this our problem?
That would be very problematic. I hope we see a beautiful game here. It's Game 5, right? Our opening match for the season is a Game 5. That's exciting. That's always going to be exciting. And I hope it's a great kind of conclusion to this set because it's been a great set.
Oh yeah, I've been having tons of fun here, just casting over some good Rocket League. I hope everyone at home is having a wonderful viewing experience on this wonderful Friday night in the middle of February.
I mean, the players have been giving us a show to enjoy, so I better hope you're enjoying it. You're really not a very grateful person if you're not having a good time here. You're just saying your expectations too high.
You know what? Everyone in the chat, I want you to go on Twitter right now. I want you to link the stream. Get your friends in here. It's a party. It's Friday night. Let's get this started as we start loading up into game number 5 here.
This is the make or break point. Game point for both teams, and the ball already next to Colorado's goal. Good Potatoes on the defense. Wants to turn this one around.
He's out of boost. This could be dangerous right here, but he's able to get the aerial off the wall there. And Briz is there, but Just a Boink is able to keep it in the zone just for a little longer.
And now, J13 wants to catch this. Wicked Potato off the wall. Doesn't get it on target, but sets up Briz, who does the opening goal to Utah in Game 5.
That right there is, I don't want to say it's luck, but Briz is a god. Either he's incredibly lucky or he's got some straight good Rocket League gameplay inside of his hands.
He was a little quiet for the last 2 games, but he's showing us he's still got it. It was the carry in Game 1 and 2, wants to be the carry in Game 5.
This man thinks we're giving out MVP trophies, so he's going dumb hard, and that's what I like to see. I like to see that out of all of our players. As Wicked Potato gets the goal, Utah's deciding they do not want to lose this series.
They have put too much into this series to lose it. They've made too many good plays. They've had too much good team coordination to let it go to waste, so they're bringing the pressure. 2 goals in under a minute.
So as we get into the 50-50 here, we see Colorado winning it, but Wicked Potatoes is there to clear it out from the zone. What I want to see here is I want to see Colorado, I want to see some more life. I don't want to see them get discouraged by what's happening right now. I want to see them push back. I want to see them knotted up.
They've come too far to tilt off the table now. Just a Boink wants to tilt the ball in his team's favor. Instead, it's going to be Heidi, who does not quite clear that out. But
Just a Boink with the missed aerial there. That could cost them because now they have someone out of position and there's no one back on defense. As Utah keeps it in the zone.
At the same time, we have a lot of Utah players very far forward. If this gets turned around on them, it could be very dangerous. Owen in the air, does not get the downward connect like he wants to, but Wicked Potatoes not finding it either. But Briz throws it towards the goal.
Right there, I really liked Briz's positioning on there. He was close enough to make a play on the ball when he was needed to, but he was far enough back to where if something terrible happened, he was there for the defensive stop.
Oh, about time you said something positive about the players.
Wow. All I'm saying is I believe that Colorado can be playing better. Because as you can see right there, as Owen scores, that was a misplay from Colorado on defense. They should have had that clear, but instead they kind of went for a half clear, and as you see the 2 cars hitting each other right there, that's just poor positioning. He needed to be further behind the ball to get it out of the zone versus just trying to hit it to the side.
I do believe Utah just completed the set. Every player on their team has scored in this Game 5.
That's just solid team gameplay right there. That's what separates, you know, those upper echelons of teams from the second tier of teams.
Good to have your star players, but why not have a full team of them? Now Owen looking for another. Just a Boink needs to get something going for his team. He has been a lot of their momentum. Needs to make a play to get his teammates back in this one.
Yeah, as you can see here, Colorado's not giving up. They're still bringing the fight to Utah. They do not want to go down without a fight. They're playing for some pride and for the victory.
J13, he's got the ball, but Owen has more boost available to him. Going to be able to clear that out.
As you can see, Utah's able to finally clear it out, but I don't think they're in a good enough position here to convert this. As I say that, Briz taps it towards goal, but he's not able to finish it.
And now it's it's in Heidi's hands to make the offensive play here. Just a Boink throws it in, but Briz in position to defend, off the wall, beautiful stop. The turnaround from Utah's pretty good, but they can't get the clear they want.
Yeah, Utah's just okay with turtling up right here. As I say that, they start pushing again, but they're going to keep one guy back on defense at all times because they're up 3-0 with a minute left, minute 30 left. They're fine. They're sitting pretty.
As much as they would want to, they do not need to play hero ball here. Wicked Potato still trying to do just that. 13 kind of carrying this wall out. Owen says, you've been holding that too long. I'm going to put a stop to that. Heidi looking to stop the defense, trying to turn around onto offense, sets up 13 in the air, puts it close, not quite on target. Owen Clears it out. Riz
And
sends
center
it.
right here.
What
Wicked Potatoes
potato.
could get a goal, but as you can see, the defensive play comes in from Heidi. That was big to keep this from getting even more out of hand.
It was a beautiful play. Beautiful. Oh, Wicked Potato gets his goal in the end. I love the teamwork from these guys. They're always setting each other up. Like, look at that. 2 taps just to set up Wicked Potato.
See, now I'm starting to wonder. Did Utah just take their foot off the gas in Game 3 and Game 4 to give our broadcast a Game 5?
Are you implying that the good, honest players of University of Utah esports would do anything other than try their best at all times?
I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying that this broadcast is perfectly lit, and I'd love to thank the players for giving us a 5-game series right here. But, I mean, this game is not over. If Colorado somehow scores 4 goals in 45 seconds, I'll eat my pants.
Make that 5. Wicked Potato takes another one. I believe that's his 3rd his game.
Yeah, he's got the hat trick. And this is just, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand here for Colorado. I don't know. I want to see Colorado get at least 1 goal here. I want to see some fight out of them in this last 45 seconds.
They've played too good to not get a goal in this last game.
Yeah, I know I've been harping on them all the time, but they're not playing poorly at all. They're just getting unlucky on things like that.
All right, Colorado is mentally out of it. They seem to have mentally checked out at some point. That hurts. That hurts if you're a player in that situation.
You know, I don't say this a lot, but Colorado, why are you doing this to yourself? You guys are much better than the way you are playing in this game right now, and you really should just not give up like that. I want to see you guys fight. I want to see the positivity coming out. I want to see you guys on Twitter after the game giving GGs to the other players. I want to see you regaining after this just walloping in Game 5.
I mean, 3 and 4 was awesome. I loved Game 3 and 4. But now we're talking about Game 5 like it's over when there's still 20 seconds on the clock.
I mean, it is over. I'm sitting over here having a drink of water, watching this game as it's 7-0.
So I haven't done the math. If Utah just stops playing, can Colorado get the ball? Oh, they apparently can.
See, now this is what I like to see here. Not only are they still, I want to say that's just a misplay from Utah. I mean, there's two Utah hits and 1 Colorado hit off the. It's just.
Okay, but it took Colorado 2 seconds to get that goal. They've got 20 seconds left on the clock. They maintain that same pace. They get up to 11 points before the game is over.
Yeah, I mean, I think Utah's just going to try to run the clock out here. I don't think they're gonna try to score again. They're just going to play some solid defense and try to keep the scoreline at 7-1.
Owen gets the big clear on out of there. That's really going to kind of seal this one up in a can. Ball's still live for a little bit, but that's the set, folks. Bit of a heart wrencher, that one. I have to say, Colorado really had me believing in them there.
Yeah, I honestly, I wanted the reverse sweep. I really did. Even though I go to Utah, I like Utah. I love seeing reverse sweeps, especially from a team that honestly, they didn't look really good in Games 1 and Game 2. And then they started to really bring out their skill in Games 3 and Games 4. But we got the Colorado from Game 1 and Game 2 in Game 5, and that's what kind of disappoints me. I don't know if the little break in between games, I don't know if anything was said or if it's just the way Rocket League goes, because it's honestly it's a game of inches. If you whiff, if you just slightly don't have the right angle when you're going for an aerial, things just don't go your way. So I want to see Colorado come out in their next matchup. I don't know who they're playing, but I want to see them come out with the fire starting from Game 1. I don't want to see any of this Game 5 from them. They are a better team than that.
I cannot agree more. They're a good team. They've got some skills. I think they're going to be one of our stronger contenders here. But let's give some props to Utah. They played some incredible games. You do not go 7-1 in a Game 5 by playing bad Rocket League.
No. As I may have been negative on the players, because you know what? I want to see the PACG Rocket League players. I want to see them in the pros. I want to see them in RLCS one day. So I really want to see them improve over the course of the season, and I want to see our grand finals at the end of everything to be one of the greatest Rocket League matches I've ever seen. So that's kind of why I'm hard on players, but honestly, both teams played great, and there's not more than I can say to that.
All we want to do is see these players succeed. That's all we want to see. Beautiful games. We want to see the players succeed. We want to see them play their best. We saw a little bit of Colorado's best Hopefully we'll see a little bit more going forward, and hopefully Utah, they can keep this stuff up. Beautiful stuff. We say we don't give out MVP trophies, but I'm going to require you to give one out now. Who do you give it to?
I give it to Briz. Briz was playing next level in Utah's wins, especially on offense. That man was unstoppable. He was flying up walls and getting some insane shots on goal.
That is just like scratching the surface of what he did for the game. It is hard to argue that anyone had a bigger impact on the game there than Briz did. But a little shout out to the Colorado players. Give everyone a little bit of something. Just a Boink was a monster. We said it, game 3 and 4 was off his back. And I want to see him again.
And that's one of the major things that we saw throughout this series. It was not like one player was taking over for either team. Every single player on both teams had moments of greatness. And that's what really has me excited for the future of Rocket League and the PACG, is that all of these players are very talented. Trust me, they're certainly more talented than I am, especially at Rocket League. So, I mean, when we really see in the future and when we get into playoffs and just the improvement I think we can see through the league is just leaps and bounds beyond how they're playing right now.
I've got to agree. If this is our game 1, this is the opener. I cannot wait for our finals. With the time the players have to learn, to improve, to really butt heads against equal level competition, that sharpens your skills, that raises your game. It's going to be an insane season. I am calling that one now. We will get a reverse sweep at some point.
Yeah, I have full faith in that. But that was a wonderful game 1 that was taken there 3-2 by Utah. And we're going to go into a short break here as we get ready for Arizona versus Stanford.
Looking forward to that one.
disappeared. Can you say that I wasn't there for you when you went into hiding on the front steps of your porch?
Hello and welcome back to the PACG Rocket League broadcast. I am still Archie Salik Smith, and I am still here with the incredibly awesome Andrew Stentz, bringing you what's going to be here, Arizona versus Stanford here for a second match of the day.
Yeah, and this one's going to be an interesting matchup because I know Arizona, they played in the Collegiate Rocket League last year, and they were one of the favorites. They are a very good squad, so I'm interested to see if Stanford can keep it competitive, to be quite honest. I have seen nothing from Stanford, so they could easily come out and just mop these people. This is week 1, by the way. So, but in the past, Arizona's always had a very good Rocket League team. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to have in this matchup.
All right, so Arizona kind of the more established favorites here, but that does give Stanford the opportunity for the upset early on. We'll see what they're able to do to get those rosters in front of us, and let's talk about the players. You've talked to the Arizona guys a bit. Tell me about Planting Cargo and his boys.
Yeah, Planting Cargo is he's just simply put, he's a monster. He is the best Rocket League player I've seen outside of the RLCS. And I'm not gassing him up or anything. Well, I am gassing him up, but he deserves it. That man is next level. He's ranked champion 2 in Division 1 right now. So I honestly, when we look at the two rosters, all 3 players to me for Arizona have the head-to-head matchup covered. When we look at Stanford, I mean, the best player on Stanford, I'd have to say, is going to be Zormask, but he's going to have to go real hard to kind of compete with the likes of JoJo Cats and Planting Cargo.
I don't know, might be a little bit of a hard first match, but let's go ahead and give those rosters down. Playing for Stanford, it's Merlin, Zormask, and Dope Dinosaurs. Across the way, we already introduced Planting Cargo, but we've also got JoJo Cats and Jackbo on their roster. Do either of these teams have any substitutes, other people for fighting for spots here, or is this what we got?
Actually, yeah, Arizona's currently playing with 2 substitutes. Both JoJo Cats and Jackbo are actually competing for the 3rd spot on their starting lineup. So I don't know if that's some sort of mind games or if their team chemistry is going to be off, because that could hurt Arizona. If they're not playing together as a team, we could see Stanford come out with what I would consider to be an upset here tonight.
So there's going to be a little bit of sub-narrative going on in this game. It's not just Arizona versus Stanford. It's JoJo Cats against Jackbo. Who can put out the hotter plays and who can do it faster? But, well, I guess we're going to see pretty quickly. It looks like we're just about ready to go into game here. I hope it's an exciting one.
Yeah, as we can see here, the 50-50 gets started off, and it looks pretty close, but JoJo Cats is right there with the demo on Zormax.
All right, not quite the start you're looking for, but Jackbo and Planting Cargo with the early goal in just under 8 seconds.
All right, this scares me right here because in 8 seconds, they're already up 1-0. And to be honest, as you can see, Planting Cargo, Season 6 Grand Champion, the man's a monster. He could just he's just going to put Arizona on his back, and they're just going to, that's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned that we're not going to see enough out of Merlin and Zormask and Dinosaurs to, I mean, this has been all Arizona.
JoJo Cat has another one on target and scores yet again for his team. Arizona off to a very strong start.
Yeah, if I was Stanford right now, I look at each other, or if they're not sitting next to each other, in the team comms, I want there to be nothing but positivity right now, because it's been 15 seconds and you're down.
Hey, Merlin's already got one on goal, forces JoJo Cat into a defensive position. They still got this. Stanford guys are smart, probably. And
I mean, they got it in Stanford. I didn't, so I mean, we got that going for them. So.
And I specifically applied, so that means they must be smarter than me, probably. But not smart enough to stop Jackbo from getting the 3rd goal for his team. So we saw JoJo Cat. Is that all 3? That's all 3?
Yeah, I mean, that was Jackbo on that one.
Yeah, but we started with Planting Cargo, then we got JoJo Cat. Yeah, that's all 3 in under 30 seconds.
And so this is getting ugly real fast. I think This is. Oh,
It's
man.
going to be a test of will for Stanford.
Test of will for Stan. It's gonna be a test of will for me. I gotta watch this. So Arizona's up 3-0 with not even a minute has gone by, and it looks like they're about to put another one on the board.
But a demolition in front of the goal actually puts a damper on that plan. If Cargo was there, not exploding, that could have been another one for his team.
Now, what I want to know here is, why is the Stanford logo a tree when they're the Stanford Cardinal? That it makes no sense to me.
Listen, I've been asking that question for years. No one will tell me. It's some kind of conspiracy, man.
Like, these are some of the brightest minds in the world who go to Stanford University in Palo Alto, California. It's a beautiful campus, wonderful weather. As you see, Planting Cargo get another goal. This is getting out of hand even faster than I thought it was going to.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You know, the Wildcats are just putting it on right now, and I honestly don't know what Stanford can do to stop it.
If I am the other teams in this league who aren't Arizona and Stanford and I am watching this game, I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah, no, if I'm other teams in the PACG right now, when I see Arizona on the schedule, I'm writing down a little L next to our name in that matchup. Because this is just ridiculous. As you see, Arizona put another goal on the board. I'd have to look at the rule set, but there's got to be some sort of, I don't know if there is or not, but I know in public matches and like ranked play and things, you can forfeit. I mean,
But we don't forfeit in the PACG. Like, they're on training. There's people watching. You got it. You got to go. You got to put your best foot forward, play to the end of the game, play out the clock, make something happen. If nothing else, Stanford needs to stick into this just so they can watch Arizona, study their moves. Jackbo backs up for the last tap, scores another one for his squad.
Arizona's literally doing whatever they want. It's like a pub. This is ridiculous. Stanford, what I want to see from you guys is I want to see you score at least one goal. There is 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game. You're down 6-0. Show some pride for your school. Show some pride for yourselves. I want to see you come out and at least put a goal on the board.
Like they've got to. That's all that has to be going through Stanford's comms right now. They're sitting in this game like, we got to get something on. We got to get something on them. As Jojakat looks to get a little something more for his team. Is he writing backwards on that wall there? But now it's Merlin looking to clear it out. Zormask, it's on him for the clear. Actually, they're really going heavy on this defense. They've got a lot of people in that goalie box at any given time, and it's starting to pay for them. Arizona's rate of goals has slowed down considerably.
Well, yeah, if I was down 6-0, you best believe I'd start playing some freaking defense. It seems like it's a little late now, but that's what you got to do to stop the bleeding. As you see, the ball gets back into Stanford's zone as Planting Cargo plays it in the corner. I honestly don't know what to say right now. I don't know what Stanford can do better other than just get good.
And to be honest, I think they're kind of getting good as we're watching them. If the Stanford that came out at like the 8-second mark,
Planting
that's what I get.
Cargo.
That's what I get.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about whatever we want. We can go into different little things that each team is doing wrong or each team is doing right. But as you can tell, Arizona's been together longer as a squad, and they're just outplaying Stanford in every facet of the game.
That's going to happen. Not all schools are going to have the luxury. As our schools do not accept students based on how good they are at Rocket League. So it's a little bit of a lottery of which team is just going to happen to collect the most good players for their esport in any given game.
I mean, that could be the future, though. I'd love to get a full ride for, like, my skills in anything. Like, if I was, like, Utah's the first Power 5 school to do it. We're giving scholarships to people for league and other games like that. So, I mean, eventually it could be on, you could be on your college application you put if you're good at it as a skill. Like, that would be lit.
That would be possible. That would lend itself to some more competitive matches if schools actively sought out students for their performance in these esports. It would do wonders for the health of the league if they're able to do so, and would make more of these sets go like match one as opposed to, oh my god, we're still in game one.
Yeah, I mean, we got the game going on, but what I really want to talk about here is what can Stanford do in game 2 in this series to show some signs of life?
Right now, they're in watch and learn mode. They recognize, okay, Arizona's probably a little bit better than us. We'll see.
Jesus. This is next level. This is just utter domination. I mean, I mean, yeah, I love the players on Stanford. I'm sure they're all nice guys, and they're certainly better than me at Rocket League, but
How many times are we going to say that this broadcast?
a lot because I am not that good.
Well, all right, but so we're talking about game 2 and what Stanford needs to do there. Well, they need to find their footings. They need to recognize their strengths, play to them, have some confidence in the skills that they do have, play their game.
I mean, as you see, Arizona's up 10-0. At this point, I have my controller down. I'm just walking around wondering, what am I doing with my life? But Stanford, the players on this team are mentally stronger and more capable than me. They don't tilt like I do. So I want to see when we get into game 2, whenever we get there, however badly Arizona wins this. I mean, right now they're just toying with them. I mean, Planting Cargo's got 6 goals and 10 shots. Literally, I have no words to say about how good Arizona is playing right now.
All right. Well, here's the thing for me. We've talked about what does Stanford need to do. What does Stanford need to do? What does Arizona need to do going forward?
Keep playing the way they're playing. Their aerials are next level. Their teamwork and coordination, even with 2 substitutes, is very good. Honestly, that's what scares me the most. This isn't Arizona's set roster. They're playing with their starter, Planting Cargo, and they're playing with 2 possible subs here. And I want to know what it's going to look like when they finally have the final 3 set, because right now they're just next level. They look like they're in a league of their own.
All right, so you've talked to these guys a bit, so I guess my question is, going forward, are they going to, like, will they start trolling at some point here?
Oh, 100%. They've already been trolling. They're not trolling too hard. I mean, it's kind of respectful trolling because they're trying to burn out the clock, but they're not going to stop trying to score. They're not going to stop playing. It's fun. You're not. That's just, they're competitive people. They're, like, speaking of these guys earlier, these kids, well, I guess they're men. These men will not stop trying. They'll just start trying to do a little bit more riskier things. Start relaxing a little bit because I mean they just won 11-0.
That's understandable. Getting a little relaxed with that kind of.
Oh, it's not over. This could be 12. Oh my God.
Plenty.
Do
you think they timed that?
I think they're just doing this for the broadcast. I'm going to call them up afterwards and thank them for what they're doing for us here. I mean, this is the PACG, this is Rocket League, and this is Arizona dominating Stanford in game 1. I mean, as you can see, the GGs are in the chat, but if I'm Stanford, I'm lost.
So it'll be a bit of a test for the players' characters going forward here. Part of what really makes a good competitive player is how do you bounce back from a loss? You're going to look at the 12-0 score line and just play the next game with your controller on the table, or are you going to go for the upset? We kind of hypothesized that Stanford come in winning would be an upset. Now, Stanford getting a goal is an upset result here. Will they have the spirit, kind of the fortitude, the endurance to keep playing for that, keep going for that? If they do, that speaks good for the potential of this team to grow over the season.
Oh, 100%. I fully expect Stanford to come out and go 100%. It's a brand new game. These guys are competitive. They are representing not only their schools, but themselves. They don't want to go out and just get mopped on the floor and have idiots like me trash talk them the entire time. They're going to come out and they're going to try to prove me, prove everyone, all the doubters wrong. And when they do, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to love every second of it. Stanford's going to come out and they're going to at least score a goal. That's my wild prediction for this next game. Stanford, get a goal, please.
It's pretty tame for a wild prediction there, buddy.
They just lost 12-0. That's a pretty bold prediction to predict a goal.
I consider myself a man of faith. I'm going 2.
Oh wow.
They get 2.
You know what? I think this next game's going to be closer. Hopefully Stanford, in this little break in between matches here, they're talking over what went wrong. Because, I mean, once you're down 6-0, 5-0 that early in a game, you're kind of writing that off, and you're starting to look towards this next game. And so I really want to see Stanford come out and show that they've learned from game 1 and that they're improving.
I mean, I think it kind of goes without saying they're improving a little bit. You mentioned 6-0. That was very early on in the game, but I would say that kind of happens in the first 2 minutes or so. Then over the next 3 minutes, well, 6 goals in 3 minutes is better than 6 goals in 2 minutes for the defenders. So that's obvious active improvement from them. Now, they have to continue that improvement. They have to shore up where things weren't so great. They got to identify their strengths, play to him as best they can, and more importantly, just keep their heads on the right track, keep the right mentality when going forward, and we'll see what they got here in Game 2. You got anything to say for Arizona, though?
Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything looks well. If the only thing I would want to say is, I mean, we don't have access to comm, but I'd love to hear what the communication between them is like, because since they're playing with they don't have their full roster. They don't know what their full roster is yet. I'd love to see how kind of the teamwork is meshing in the comms. But as we go into Game 2 here, I want to see Stanford coordinate their pushes better. That was one of the main problems in that Game 1, is that once they got down, they just kind of all started doing their own thing. And Rocket League's a team game. You gotta coordinate what you're doing. You gotta always know who's gonna rotate back on defense when needed, and how they're gonna push. You gotta call out what you're gonna do. If you're gonna center the ball, you need to tell your teammates that so they can get in position to put a shot on goal. So I want to see them communicate and work better as a team, and it looks like we are getting started with our game number 2 here.
All right, Game 1 was all about mechanics. For this one, I hope to see a game about team play. It's Stanford working together. Now Jojo Cat and Planting Cargo working together pretty early on. Jojo has the shot on lock, but good follow-up by Cargo to be there in case something goes awry.
See, what I noticed there is that Stanford on that, they stacked 3 cars into that back left quadrant kind of area, and no one stayed back in goal, and they were kind of stacking their cars. That's not a good way to play defense. I'd love to see them spread out more and always have someone sitting back in goal or kind of near mid-map goal so that they can play some better defense.
All right, Zormask should be in position. They got Merlin in the goal. They got all 3 players back here where they need to be. So I like to see that. Jackbo in the air. Zormak needs to get a clear out for his squad. Said going to be on Dinosaur to clear out, is able to do so. That's what I like to see.
I mean, Stanford's still playing off their back foot, but they are playing better. They're only down 1-0. This is still a close game, and I've seen a lot better plays out of them on defense. I mean, as I say that, Merlin, that was a misplay in goal right there. He didn't rotate back into goal. He kind of thought Dinosaurs was going to get the clear there, and when he came to rotate back, he just was out of position. That's unfortunate for Stanford.
So good opportunist mindset from Arizona. They're not letting Stanford get away with anything. They're not giving them a pass on anything, and that's what I like to see. Always 100%, always in every game. That's just the good mentality.
Well, yeah, they're showing the fight. They don't think they're out of this game. Yeah, sure, Game 1 was a blowout, but they're fighting hard, as you can see. I mean, Arizona hasn't really been tested on defense right now.
But now Merlin actually pulls out. That's what you're saying. Arizona, they got a little too lax, rested on their laurels. Now Zormax and Merlin come together to put the pressure on and kind of change the direction that things are going.
This excites me because Stanford's doing exactly what I want to do. They're taking the knowledge they learned in Game 1 and they're applying it to this game right here. They're playing better defense and they're coordinating their offensive pushes together as a team. That's what I love to see it from Stanford.
Honestly, if they keep making the aggressive plays, I think that's going to pay dividends for them. Arizona hasn't had to play defense this entire time. They're going to get caught with their pants down if Stanford keeps bringing it to them.
Yeah, if Stanford is able to tie this up here, that would, I feel like, for their confidence, even that first goal was major for their confidence, but if they're able to tie this up, that would put them next level. I feel like they could take the game if they tie this up.
Well, it's going to start with Dinosaurs trying to clear this one out. It's off the wall. No one quite there for his team. Zormax on the defense wants to get the better end out of this, but it's kind of 2v1. Jojo looking to get the tap in, but a little too slow there. Takes his time, and that's Zormax get control of the ball again. Jack Bowen in scoring position, throws it at the goal, does not go in. Cargo looking for the tap. No, not gonna find it here. Merlin clears it away from him again.
This is a counter score opportunity if Arizona didn't clear that out like Jackbo did there. I like what I'm seeing from Stanford. It's much more coordinated on defense and offense. You haven't seen Arizona get a lot of easy goals. They have to work for everything they're doing right now.
So, fighting back into it. Dinosaurs wants to catch it on the landing. Doesn't quite find it. Merlin rushing back. Gets the good defensive positioning. Will let him clear this out of here. Doesn't quite find it, but he was absolutely in the right place. Now Jojo positioning it here. Wants to set up Cargo. Not really getting a lot of momentum on it, though. Now,
This is dangerous. This is dangerous. That was important for Merlin to rotate back there because both of the other defenders were out of position on that.
just out of boost, out of speed. Can't keep the ball rolling, but Cargo rolls it back into goal for the third one for Arizona in game 2.
See, this is a much tighter game because of Stanford's communication, but I love what Arizona's doing. They're noticing the kind of way that Stanford's rotating back on defense, their preferred kind of play style as a defensive team. And they're adjusting to that. They're trying, instead of going for ridiculous aerials, they're trying to do coordinated pushes with passes and centers, so that they're trying to set up Planting Cargo to put it into the net. And that's what I love to see because he is really their star player.
They're playing kind of safe ground balls, kind of high percentage plays that will get them consistent results here. A lot less showboating in this one, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
I mean, we all love a good, walloping, but when we see teams like this, the improvement from game 1 to game 2 for Stanford is, I think, the storyline right now. They are playing much better Rocket League. They're playing as a team versus 3 individuals.
And the aggro is really, it's really up there. Not quite sure what the tap there from Jojo was. Slight mechanical misplay, which is something we're not used to seeing from Arizona.
Yeah, right as I was hyping up Stanford in their communication there, they should have been scored on there. That was, they had no one back sitting in goal, and then the ball's getting centered just like that. You gotta always have someone in goal when the ball is in your zone. But good on Arizona for capitalizing on this opportunity.
They got players near the goal there, just couldn't get anyone into the air for the deflection on that one. Still about a minute left in this one. Stanford much closer this time around. Jojo Katz in the dangerous position. Throws the ball towards the goal, looking for Planting Cargo, and he doesn't follow up. Merlin from the wall, looking for the clear. Jack Bow says, not going to let it happen. I'm going to throw it into your goalie box. Cargo says, I'm going to throw it into your goal. But Dinosaurs, he doesn't care what they're saying. He wants this ball out of there, and he does just that.
Yeah, I love to see Stanford get at least one more good coordinated offensive push in this game, because they've improved a lot on their coordination and their teamwork, but I want to see them get 2 goals on the board. That first one was a result of good play, and it looks like they could get another one right here.
They are on the offense again, but Jojo Katz has control of the ball. Passes it up to Jackbo. No, Merlin intercepts that pass, does not let that happen. 3 players up in the air. Ball is being juggled, but now in the air, landing near no one. That's going to be the game 2 for... No, it's still in. Jojo keeps it alive for the last second goal for 5-1 for Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona just, I feel like with that last goal, they wanted to prove that, yeah, we're still the team that just 12-0'd you. But what I love right there is not only is Arizona still keeping their foot on the gas pedal, but Stanford is starting to get closer and closer to being on a more competitive level with Arizona.
And that's what they did over like a 2-minute pause between games. What they're going to be able to do by the end of the season, that could be scary.
Yeah, I do not count Stanford out in this one. I mean, if every game they're getting better. They got 12-0 in the first one. They got 1 goal in that game too. I think we could see 3, 4, 5 goals out of Stanford in this next one. That's my bold prediction. I see Stanford. Arizona's defense has not been tested in this game. I want to see Stanford push Arizona's defense I want to see them test it. I want to see them. The only problem with that is Stanford's rotations back after offensive pushes have been lackluster. So even if they try and do these all-out offensive pushes, I'm a little bit scared that Arizona could make them pay.
They can, and that's always something you have to keep in mind when you're playing those really aggressive styles. But, it worked really well for Utah in our last match. They rarely had to play defense because they were just keeping the pressure on so much. If Stanford can pick up that kind of style, that's going to really flip the script on Arizona. That's something they can break. That's something they did very good in Game 2. That's a large part of what let them have that sharp performance. And they got to bring more of that. They have to bring more of that.
Yeah, I mean, am I going to predict Stanford to take this game 3? No, I'm not. Arizona's looked like the better team in all facets of the game. But Stanford is showing noticeable signs of improvement from game to game. And that's what excites me, because whoever they're playing next week or the week after is got to be a little bit worried, because Arizona has shown that they are a very top echelon team, one of the best teams in PACG. So if Stanford can just show those signs of improvement in week 1 against Arizona, that should scare some other teams because, I mean, we haven't seen anyone else play with their current rosters play Arizona, but Stanford's starting to look like they could be a scary team come week 4, week 5.
They could be, and honestly, for Arizona's sake, Stanford does kind of need to come out aggressive here. We've talked about Arizona's defense being untested. What I really loved about match 1, the Colorado versus Utah game, it was the back and forth. These were teams that are very close to each other. Edge sharpens edge. Two really good teams playing against each other will improve them more than any mismatch or stomp. Arizona wants to benefit from playing a really good team. They want Stanford to come out here and make them show something they haven't shown before. And that's just part of the improvement process. So both teams want this to be a good Game 3. They want it to be close. And I think it can be. I think it absolutely can be.
I think it certainly can be close to, but if I had to predict the final score line of Game 3, I predict Arizona taking it 7-3.
7-3. Very specific right there. Sounds like it would be a very high-scoring game. I don't know if I agree with that prediction, but that does sound like a good game for all parties. That means their offense is firing on all cylinders for both teams. They're having their opportunities. They would have to be setting each other well to get that kind of score line going. And honestly, that would just be kind of high octane, really. If you get that kind of back and forth that frequently, that'd be an exciting game.
Well, I
want it to be 7-3. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I expect Stanford to start taking some more risks on offense. I want to see them get the ball in the zone, and when they do that, I don't think they're going to be prepared to rotate back on defense quick enough, especially with playing a team like Arizona that we've seen can just put shots on goal like no other. So that's why I kind of expect that scoreline, because Stanford's improving, and I feel like they really need to take this opportunity. They're playing such a good team to just get better. I think they should try out some strategies maybe they've been thinking about or discussing but haven't really implemented yet. I want to see them try out some whatever they have. I want them to reach deep into their bag of tricks and pull out all of the stops for this match. I want to see some crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff sounds right up my alley, all things considered. Could be exciting. Want to see. I'd be really interested in seeing Stanford do something weird. It's a good opportunity. It seems very unlikely they're going to lose this game, right? So it becomes an opportunity for the players then to maybe try out some new strategy, something that's unproven, and in a game where you're probably not going to lose anything because you're probably going to lose no matter what, you get a chance to try out something in a real competitive environment. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get into this Game 3. We'll see what's going to happen. Oh, hello. We seem to be coming in a bit late here.
Yeah, we're coming in late, and Arizona's already up 4-0 as planting Cargo with the hat trick already. It's not even a minute gone through. I hope that Stanford is going to take some of the lessons they've learned and apply them in this game. Otherwise, we could see a repeat of Game 1.
I'm absolutely glad we got the replay on that shot. I mean, I didn't appreciate it properly the first time we went through. Cargo, he bumped that into the air for himself, then rode off the ceiling to tap it in. That is the most insane mechanical play we have seen yet. And he's not stopping. He's not stopping.
See, Arizona is doing what good teams do. It was a closer game too, but they're taking the things that they learned about how Stanford likes to play, the things Stanford is trying, and they're adjusting to it, and they're just outplaying them. So these players, they are very good at kind of noticing what they need to do to improve versus certain teams. That's why in these best of fives, you can see such drastic changes from game to game as teams kind of adjust to different play styles. But I just feel like the skill ceiling is just higher for Arizona, especially in week 1, since they've been playing together for so long.
Now Merlin wants to clear this out quickly. He's up in the air, does get the tap away, but Arizona's there waiting for him. Landing Targo doesn't get hit, but Jack Bow does. Joe Duquette looks for the jump, Wants to get the tap downwards towards goal. Does find it, planting Cargo. Follows up there, but it's Merlin in control of the ball. Sending it away, but Jojo Cats throws it right on back. Stanford just can't get the ball out of here.
Yeah, Arizona's just putting their foot on the throats of Stanford. They do not want to let them get anything going here. And I think for Arizona, it's more of, I think they want to show that to the rest of the PACG league that they are not to be trifled with, that they are a serious team that should be respected constantly as they go up 6-0 here with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock.
And right now, Jackbo is fighting for that spot on this team. If I'm sitting there, if I'm like Arizona's team coach and I am looking at these three guys play, how do you justify benching any of them for anyone else?
Honestly, I don't know, because we haven't seen what their other substitute brings to the table yet. I think for team choices, especially in Rocket League, it's going to come down to the team chemistry, the communications, the people like me who tilt way too easily and start being unproductive, or if they can calm themselves down and kind of refocus, and so they can come back in games. That's what I want to see from their team, like, discussion over these next couple weeks.
Yeah, but now it's going to be a continued three-man offensive from Arizona. Only, oh, hello, destruction on the court there. Jackbo needs to kind of pick up for the slack for his fallen teammate there. Wants to clear this out. Ball in a risky spot near the goal. Very dangerous to cross the ball in front of your own goal like that.
See, this is what I like to see. Stanford's starting to put the pressure on Arizona. I want to see more of Arizona's defense. I haven't been convinced how good they are yet, just simply because we haven't seen a whole lot of it. I mean, Arizona's offense has been so good. We've never had a chance to really watch how their defense plays when you know, good amounts of pressure are applied for long periods of time.
And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's going to come until we get a slightly better match up for them going forward. But Stanford, they don't care what I have to say. They're doing this for them. Victory seems unlikely. They still want to make some plays. Zormats does just that. Gets Stanford's first goal in this next one.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not convinced that Arizona's defense is good. I don't know if they're just trying to run up the score on them, so they're starting to do risky things offensively. But they're not rotating back on defense nearly well enough to, you know, compete at the highest level, which I know that they can.
Yes.
So Stanford's really got an opportunity here to kind of prove that they aren't just a pushover Rocket League school, that they do have very good skill in Rocket League. But as I say that, Arizona puts another goal on the board. Planting Cargo has literally been a monster the entire series, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
He has been planting some dangerous cargo on Stanford's side of the map. Well, Arizona's at 7. If Stanford gets like 2 in a row here and then stall at the clock, you could still be right yet, Stents.
I know. If Stanford gets 2 more goals on the board, I think I'm going to retire as a caster. My first major prediction would be, well, I guess my second one. But as we go in here, Arizona's continuing to put the pressure on. It's now 8-1. Planting Cargo is literally doing whatever he wants out there. And his teammates are helping him out. They're putting the ball in the right spot for him to send it home. And there's not much more than you can say than that. Arizona's simply playing better offense than Stanford's playing defense. But when I look at Stanford's defense, I don't see any major weaknesses other than just Arizona's aerial attack is just simply put really good.
Seems to be just that. Unfortunately, it seems Stanford is actually now down a player. Merlin seems to have disconnected from the game here, as now Planting Cargo and Jackbo want to put in another goal here, or they're just going to circle it back. Dope Dinosaurs, it's looking rough for his team, but he's trying to make this play for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the sign that the game is over. Stanford's playing 2 versus 3. He had a player leave the lobby. I just want to see, in the future, I want to see Stanford try to rebound from this loss. I mean, there were some good moments there. There were
the
some
team's
good
got potential.
Exactly.
Potential
They've had good offensive pushes, and since they've been playing defense so much, they're starting to get better at it. But if you have someone who doesn't, or if the team doesn't want to put in the effort and grind and fix the mistakes, we could be seeing more of this throughout the season.
Like, we don't have a really way from knowing from what we're seeing. I hope that's a DC on Merlin's part. I hope he was involuntarily taken out of the game. I never want to see my players just give up on the field. That makes me very upset as a spectator, as a commentator. These guys have an awesome privilege to be able to play in front of a crowd for their school, for their pride, and I really don't respect any player who takes that lightly.
As you can see, Arizona's going to win this last match of the series 10-1 and take the 3-0 victory in this match. I expected it to be closer. I wanted it to be closer, but Arizona's out there proving that they are currently the team to beat in the PACG.
All right, so let's say you're Utah, you're Colorado, you're one of the higher end teams, you're capable of performing at a high level, and you see Arizona do that. What's your takeaway?
I gotta go grind. I gotta go play more as a team. We gotta practice. We gotta grind out the matches. We gotta get our communication and our team pushes on point. We have to watch Arizona's film to see what they are doing to just put that many goals on the board, and see if we can come up with any good strategies to stop it.
I mean, the mechanical skill demonstrated. It's insane. I've never seen anything like that. Their team play is top notch. Arizona has earned their way to this 3-0 victory. And it makes me excited to see what they're going to do against teams closer to their levels. I want to see Arizona play Utah. I think that could be an absolutely intense game. I'm excited for that. It might not be great for Utah fans, potentially, but it should be an excellent game of Rocket League.
Yeah, if I had to guess going into the future of the PACG season here for Rocket League, I'd have to say Arizona certainly looks like the team to beat. You can't make an argument for anyone else at this point. But I also feel like Stanford, they're doing some things right. They are working together as a team, especially in that game too. I loved what I saw there. They started to make some strides on their defensive front, and they were able to start getting some coordinated team pushes into the Arizona side. And as you saw, they were able to score, and that's something they couldn't do in game one. So as they go forward, I want to see them get back to playing. I want to see them work out whatever communication issues or just, positioning issues they have on the map there, and I want to see them work through those, and I want to see them get better. It's like, as a caster, I love to see competitive games, especially when they shouldn't be, like Stanford, Arizona. We all kind of thought that Arizona was going to show that they were the dominant team, but I would have loved to see Stanford come out with a little bit more fire in their belly.
So, talking about the future, let's go ahead, look at our schedule here. Next week, it's going to be USC versus Wash State. There's only two teams we have yet to see in the Rocket League division. We're going to have to see what they can bring. But the match we can talk a little bit more about is Colorado versus Stanford. It's their second game of the day. What's that going to look like?
I am very excited for that one. Colorado coming off a close loss to Utah, where there was some brilliant gameplay out of them, especially in game, I believe, 3. But they've shown that they have the clutch factor on their team and that they can close out close games. But I want to see if Colorado, when they get down, say 3 goals, 4 goals or something like that, because it's a long season. Eventually that's going to happen. So I want to see if they're going to be able to come back, because in game 5 against Utah, they got down early and then they got down big, and they never really recovered. So that's what I'm interested to see. In that game, I want to see what Stanford are we going to get. Are we going to get game 1, game 3 Stanford, or are we going to get game 2 Stanford from today? So if we get game 2 Stanford, this could be a very close game.
It can be. It's going to be a great proving ground for Stanford. Colorado's not some unstoppable juggernaut force of nature. They're a very good team. On paper, they were an incredibly strong team. I don't think they're unbeatable for Stanford. This could be a chance for them to show what they learned from playing against Arizona and kind of make that potential a reality thing for them.
See, that's the other thing I want to see. I want to see if Arizona is just that good, and Stanford, I want to see where Stanford truly is, because if Arizona is just that much better than everyone else, it's not a really good test of their skill. So I want to see Stanford play one of our more mid-level teams, kind of a team that we know, that we've seen play Utah, and that it's going to be competitive. Because if Arizona is going to come out and just beat teams like that, then we can't really read anything into the games that people play against them.
I mean, then that's just not fair to compare Stanford to them at that point. Still, by the end of next week, we'll have seen everybody play. We'll have a better feel for what Colorado and Stanford are. We'll have a very good idea of how all of our teams kind of measure up to each other. So that's going to be exciting, and I do believe that is all we have here for you guys today. Stents, any closing words before we sign off here?
I don't know about you guys, but I had a wonderful time watching some good Rocket League today. I had fun casting with my pal Archie. So I want to thank you all for coming out. I want to let you guys know we will be here next week. We'll be here every Friday for the foreseeable future. Tell your friends, invite everyone out. It's always a good time here. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that.
All right, I do believe that will do it for us tonight. Well, then, signing off, I am Archie Sleek Smith. You can follow me at Twitter at SleekyArches. Joined here today with my boy, Andrew Stentz. Where can I find you on Twitter?
At Stents_. It's always lit. Toss me a follow. Follow PACG while you're at it so you can stay up to date with all of our other games, and all of the information for that is linked below the stream. All
right, so that should be it for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to the PACG. We have been honored to have you as our audience today. With that out of the way, signing off.